Hello, my name's Luke. On this episode of How to Improvise, I want to talk about how, as an improviser, as a music therapist, the force that we're working with is way bigger than something that happens in sessions. This is a life intelligence that we're engaging. So I want to let that sit for a moment because I want to tune into that. I want to feel that trust. That there's something else. There's this image that was put up on the board in a couple different classes when I first started studying music therapy, and it was a triangle, and the triangle was therapist, client, which would be sort of the line of talk therapy. That those are the two components. And then up here was music. So the therapist is relating to music, the therapist is relating to the client is relating to the therapist, and the client is relating to music. So music is this other force. So let's invite some music in here. I want to use my 5th Facebook live stream. This is from May 11th, 2021. My stated intention when I was doing this one was to savor the sound and have fun. Why I stopped the video, what strikes me right away is the clarity. A lot of my other videos, if you watch any of the other ones, I'm searching around in the beginning, kind of, wondering what's going to sound right. This one has a real directness about it. And I don't know exactly why that is. Maybe I was just trusting, I got this, whatever comes out is going to be good. Or maybe I had rehearsed it. And either way, what I like is that if I had rehearsed it, I let go of the idea quickly after it was established, and then I start to explore, and you can hear that. If I'm just jumping in and I've got confidence about it, then I love that there's a trust. This is my fifth one. The first few, I was afraid when I was doing it. And then watching back, I was like, oh, that's pretty good. Even when I'm afraid or I feel like I'm making a mistake or something, music is smoothing out the edges and making it sound all right. So I can see that a trust is developing in this bigger intelligence. Listening to this with this idea that there's a life intelligence that we're engaging here, it's powerful. I don't really know what it's saying. What is the life intelligence that's being engaged here up to? I can feel it. I feel that something's happening. There's an aliveness being touched there. Something that well, I mean, I use that word aliveness. It's got an aliveness. What's aliveness? It's things growing, plants, trees, babies, ideas. It's the movement of the planets. Aliveness is like this generative thing that comes out into a form. So I'm sensing here that these are things, everything that I'm playing is stuff that I've played. That's my loop. These are arpeggios, G major, A major. That's the fourth and the fifth of the key of D that I'm in. So there's like I know the pieces that I'm using. The aliveness is coming through, and it's using things that I've practiced, things that are in my lexicon, if you will. In the same way here, as I'm talking, I'm trying to put into words this aliveness. It's like words that I have are what the options are to express this. That part I really like. So there's this 4, 5. I'm naming the scale tones that I'm on. So a scale has 8 or 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like that's where it wants to go. So I'm 5, 6. Whatever I do there, I don't bring it up into 8, which is so much where that one wants to go. Because I'm liking the aliveness of that. I'm liking the tension of it. I want to stay in it. I want to keep searching rather than resolve it. And the speech equivalent of that, I'm feeling it right now. It's like there are cliche ways of saying what I want to say. We're working with a bigger intelligence. Oh, music. A lot of people have put that type of thing into words, but there's a unique flavor to it. Like I want to stay connected to that aliveness and have it wake up my words, have something new emerge, so that it feels alive the whole time. It's not disconnected now from the aliveness because it's gone into the realm of the familiar, where I don't have to. And that's an interesting thing. I'll see if it happens in here, and then we'll have a felt sense of it, and I can dive into that. Hilarious, because it went there right away. That's something that I've played like 1 jillion times in my life. That's I remember being at this house party and having my guitar out, and all these people, just wooden floors, and so poof, poof, poof. I was playing that, and we were all dancing and singing, made up some little chorus based on something that had happened in conversation. And at that time, holy smokes, that was alive. That was the first time that had emerged from my fingers. And then here I am playing it because I know it sounds good. I know it sounds good in this key, and I want to get away from resolving it up there. So I'm bringing this in. And the thing that keeps it alive here, and I'm so grateful for my reluctance to let this be cliche. I'm using the word cliche as if that signifies like a death of some sort. And I guess what I mean by that is like where it becomes disconnected from its meaning. Same, I talked about this in another video, like saying I love you for the first time is like one of the most earth-shattering, enlivening things. It's full of risk and it's like being spoken into being. And then saying love ya when you're hanging up can be like, I was going to say like less alive than belching while you're hanging up. And actually if someone belched at the end, whoa, that would be a surprise, and that would be like a welcome invitation. Anyway, there's something that happens here where it's like I'm trying to shake off the familiarness of this pattern. I'm going to just rewind it a little bit because it's worth noting. I'm trying to give it this extra space rather than just sliding right up into it. So each time it's coming around, it's like some possibility is being created. I'm listening a little bit longer. Where can this break off? That's a powerful spot. So I'm like stuck in that pattern, playing it over and over. I'm trying to break up the end of it to have something new, but it's like, that's all I can hear. That's what's happening. So eventually I just drop it and I've got this drone. This thing holding me, which reminds me of like body awareness. When in doubt, when oh no, if I'm in a tense argument with my wife or something like that, which doesn't happen very often anymore, or I'm just aware that I'm stuck in something, let it go. Come back to the steady, the constant, which is my body, my breath, the sensations in my body. Beautiful. And something new can emerge. I gave that some extra time because, and something new can emerge came right away. Like, oh, that's not new. That's part of the old thing. Let it go. The viewers can't just hold out like that. So there's a little bit of grip there. That there's like an idea of, well, people are going to be watching this. I have to keep it going in a certain way. So what happens here, we'll see what the bigger intelligence says that comes through. What is this? I've gone pretty quickly into something new. I don't know what it is. I'm laughing because this guy doesn't know what it is either. I can tell by looking in his eyes. He's looking at the Facebook Live thing that says if anyone's watching, if there's any comments and stuff like that. He doesn't know what's going on. Oh, and then something so brilliant happens. This buzz comes in. And I was working with this video before with my EQ. I was going to EQ that buzz out, and then I was like, so EQ is equalization. So that buzz is coming in at around 4,500, 5,000 hertz. That's frequency. Pull it out, the buzz isn't there so much. But the buzz is important. The buzz is, oh, there's a bigger intelligence here. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm kind of lost. I just got trapped in this old pattern that I've been in for a while. I rest into this drone and then I start something new, and I don't really know where this is going. I don't really know what's being said here. Now a buzz arrives, and what it does to the playing immediately is it starts to get it rattled. I've rewound it a bit. It's all very smooth. The buzz starts to agitate it a little bit. It's like, ooh, got some ants in the pants here. I don't quite know what to do. I remember being pissed off when that buzz came in when I was doing this, because I had, well, it's funny. I had made a new Facebook friend who is a guitarist, and I was thinking, oh, this is nice. I bet he'll like this, what I'm doing here. And then the buzz came in, and shit, oh, but okay, I'll play with it. So I'm kind of scrambling here is what I'm doing. So there, I'm like, okay, scrambling, play something simple and solid, sort of like resting in the body again. That I can hold on to. This is it's kind of old wisdom in some way. I'm going to reference some research that I was doing on Sunday. So I love the bass player from Fish, Mike Gordon. I love his wisdom. And one of the things that he was talking about in a couple of videos that I was watching is something that he's calling the non-varying technique. And essentially it's get a lick, and instead of trying to vary it up and keep it busy and all that kind of stuff, watch those impulses and let them go. Let them go. I understand that as, like, for me, letting go of the need to keep my listener entertained, this sort of like people-pleasing need for validation that I think of as like, me as a little boy, trying to make everybody laugh, trying to keep everybody happy. Like, you should see me at a family reunion or something like that. The last one I remember, my grandma was turning 90. She's 98 now. And there was like 200 people there. They rented out a church basement, and there was all these people and like second cousins and this person and that person. And I'm just like bopping around, shaking everybody's hand, I'm that guy. So that's my tendency, that was my family role. that's my thing. So for me to let go of those impulses, I'm deepening into my own experience of what's here. There's another impulse. Probably, it's like comes wearing the mask of, hey, I'm then going to open up this musical door. No, actually, you're probably here to impress people. Let it go. Deep in, deep in. I don't know what it is for Mike Gordon. He didn't talk about that. Like, what are the things that he's letting go of? But what he did talk about is something really aligned with my own experience, which is that in that deepening, something happens. Like new possibilities open up that really are fresh and alive. So this is what I'm sort of grasping for here. And then there's this beautiful intelligence, and I'll rewind it so you get a better sense of what this is about. So I've got this phrase that I'm playing. I like that. Okay, that I can hold on to. So now I'm going to loop it. Uh-oh. Before I'm done playing it, the loop repeats itself. So it's playing on top of itself. Oh no. And I remember at the time thinking, hey, what's happening here? And then luckily, and I'm grateful to my practice for this, like I'm 40, I've been doing deep spiritual practice for 20 years. I'm saying this because I've developed the ability to be pretty speedy, yeah, especially in music, of like, and not all the time, I gotta be real about that, but in this situation, something just happened that I didn't expect to happen. Oof, what is it? Okay, engage it. And bringing this back that has, to me, even more aliveness than it did the first time. It's like percolating on this. It's good. I like that. Most of what I like about that is the whoosh, 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 that swirl of stuff happening in the background, and all of it was an accident. I made my initial loop. Every other loop didn't work out the way that I thought it would because of the length of the initial loop, which I hadn't quite calculated. So there's this thing happening on the guitar where I'm going. So again, it's kind of going back to that same theme of climbing 4, 5, 6, 7, but not giving us the 1 or the 8. Same. So keeping that dynamic tension happening that was a theme from earlier in the piece, and what that's telling me is something about this, like this ability to dance with this bigger intelligence, that it requires an ability to hold tension and to not have things resolve all the time. And for me, as I'm doing this video, it's like I want this to make sense, and that's my desire for it to resolve. It's like I want to open up something new, but I want to have it fit into the old structure immediately. So that's what I feel like the music is offering me, that lesson. Like, hey, the aliveness can be maintained if you can hold not understanding, not resolving for a little bit longer, especially when there's some new challenges thrown into the mix, like the buzz or the loop not being as long as I thought it would be. Yeah, those eyes are the eyes of somebody who knows he's been had a little bit by life intelligence. And I like that. There's like a little bit of a, yeah, I think I stayed up. I surfed the wave pretty good. And I don't know if I really did. Let's be honest about that. And I love that about that guy. I love seeing that quality come through where it's like I don't have it all together. As hard as that is to do in the moment, I love that I've cultivated the ability to do that. And man, oh man, not easy. Like I remember in my early 20s, particularly, my facade breaking, when I thought, oh, everyone sees this self that I think I'm putting out, before I really understood that this intelligence that is poking and prodding and pulling at the facade is doing it because it loves me. I mean, there are so many poems about that and that kind of thing, but this, like, the invitation to dance with life is a good one. Like, it's a loving invitation. I'm grateful for it. Really grateful for it. I just want to say a couple things about the end of this. I resolved that, finally went up to holding that resolution. Which had a lot to do with time. I think this is at 5 minutes now. I'm going to resolve it. And one of my dear friends, Matthew, is coming to mind here for a couple reasons, actually. He came at the beginning when I was holding this topic. He would get mad at me when we were first improvising together, like, don't resolve. Why do you have to resolve all the time? Gosh. And there was a real beautiful lesson in that. Like, to stay unresolved is pretty special. And it's a tendency that I have to watch for myself. If I'm improvising by myself, I stay unresolved often. Or if I'm improvising with other music therapists. But if I'm doing something like this, where I'm kind of putting it out to the general public, it's like I feel, oh no, they wouldn't, needs to be done up in a sweet little bow. And it's the same with my speech. It's interesting to observe that. This is quite a humbling video to watch. There's a lot of learning in here. I don't know exactly what that is, where it's like I feel like I gotta. It's almost like the musical equivalent of talking down to someone or something, like not thinking they can handle me just expressing from my own comfort level. Yeah, so apologize for projecting that onto you, listener. And that's a commitment that I'd like to make to myself, is to leave things less resolved. So on that note, well, one last thing. Matthew Wan, the friend who was coming, the other thing he would talk about often is being music trusting. So I'll leave with that.